Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Vicky and today you're joining me to make these fun and cute honeycomb beaded beads. The honeycomb is I'd say the main bead in this little beaded bead. It's a 2-hole beaded bead, so it's really good for building up thread paths off these beads, or off them beads, I guess. So okay, as you can see, I've made an earring with this one. But you could add these to a necklace. You could string them all together to make a bracelet. It would be quite a chunky bracelet because they're not the smallest, but they're not ginormous either, and they're not heavy. They're quite light depending on what you put inside of them. Inside them I've got just a little plastic bead that I found in my stash, but I have got some cotton pearls in the right size on order. This would be ginormous, this one, so that wouldn't work. But yes, that's our honeycomb beaded bead. So let's take a look at what we need to make them. Okay, so today you will need some 2-hole honeycomb beads, some size 11 seed beads, some size 15 seed beads, a 3mm fire polished, and then I've got a few optional extras of a Czech bead that I've used on the earring, some little metal beads, ear wire, head pins and chain. I'm using a size 12 needle, and my thread of choice, as always, is £6 Fireline. All the materials, the exact sizes, how many you'll need to make one bead will be down in the description box, so you can go and check that out. And let's get started. Okay, so to start, we're going to pick up 3mm fire polished beads, and we're just going to drop them down our thread. I've got about a wingspan, like an arm's length of thread. Obviously work with what you're comfortable with. So we're going to leave a 10cm tail for weaving in later, and I've dropped them right down. And now coming up from the tail end, I'm going to go back through them all again, and through the first one, to make them into a little loop, like so. Okay, so coming out of one of my fire polished, I'm going to pick up one size 11 seed bead and go straight into the next 3mm fire polished. I'm going to repeat that again, picking up one size 11 seed bead and into the next fire polished, and then once more picking up one size 11 and going into the next fire polished, and then straight through into the first 11 that I've just added, like so. So it should look like that now. Okay, so now we're going to pick up 5 size 15s. We're now going to jump this fire polish bead and go into the size 11, the next one along, like so. And then we're going to repeat that twice more. So picking up 5 15s and go into the next size 11 along. And then once more. And into the next one, like so. So now I should have 3 sets of 5 15s sitting over my fire polish beads. Now I'm going to go through the first 3 15s of the first set of 5, like so. It's alive. Okay, so now I'm going to pick up 2 size 11s, 1 honeycomb bead and 2 size 11s. I'm going to skip the next 2 15s, the size 11 and the following 2 15s. So I'm skipping 5 beads, 2 15s, 1 11, 2 15s, and I'm going to go through the middle 15 of the next set of 5. And that's with my 2 size 11s, 1 honeycomb, 2 size 11s. Doesn't matter which hole of the honeycomb bead. And if it looks a bit loose, just give it a little tug, just to tighten it back up, like so. That's how it should look now. And we're going to repeat that again. 2 11s, 1 honeycomb, 2 11s, jumping the next 5 beads and going through the middle 15 of the next 5. And pull tight. So now you have 2 in place, 2 honeycomb beads, and we're just going to repeat that once more. 2 11s, 1 honeycomb, 2 11s. And we're going to go back into the size 15 that we started the round from. Like so. Give it a little pull, keep it nice and tight. Don't worry if it starts to bend, because obviously it's a beaded bead, it will start to curve at some point. Okay, so once your beads look like this, we're going to go through the first 2 11s, the honeycomb bead, and the next 2 11s. You want to be coming out of the 2 11s after a honeycomb bead. We're going to pick up 1 15 and we're going to go through the next 2 11s, the honeycomb bead, and the next 2 11s. And then we're going to repeat that again, picking up 1 15 and going through the next 2 11s, the honeycomb, the next 2 11s. You will notice that that 15 is sat on top of the middle 15 from the previous 5. So just putting in the next new 15, and I'm sure you've already guessed it that we're going to add 1 more 15 between the 2 11s and the 2 11s, them two, 4 11s. Okay. And then we're going to weave around to come out of the first new 15 we've just added. And your work should look like that. Okay, so we're now going to build this unit again, but we're going to start from the outside in. So we're going to pick up 2 15s, 1 11, 5 15s, 1 11, 5 15s, 1 11 and 2 15s. So you can see I've got 2 15s, 1 11, 5 15s, 1 11, 5 15s, 1 11 and 2 15s. I'm coming out of this new 15 that we added on the previous round, and I'm just going to go straight back into it. Like so. So this is giving me that little loop that essentially sits around our fire polished. I'm now going to go forward through my first 2 15s and my size 11. Let's move that tail. Okay, I'm coming out of this size 11. I'm now going to pick up 1 3mm fire polished, and I'm going to miss these next 5 15s and go into the next size 11 along on our little loop, like so. I'm going to pick up 1 3mm fire polished. Oh, I'm going to miss these next 5 size 15s and go through the next 11 along. And again, I'm sure you're all way ahead of me, picking up your next 3mm fire polish and going back into the size 11 that you started from. There we go. And it should look like that now. So on top of our little honeycomb motif, we now should have this little new unit of fire polished. We're now going to go through all the fire polished again, but just the fire polished. So taking our needle straight into that first fire polished, and then just go through the next one and through the one after, and then back into the one you started from. I'm now going to weave my way back on through my beads, and I want to weave all the way around until I come to this next size 15. And that's the size 15 that we added between our 11s and honeycombs. So weaving round through all these into the 15 we started from on this one, and then weave through the 2 11s, the honeycomb, the 2 11s, and that 15 that we added between these 11s. Okay, so your work should now be looking like that, and you should be coming out of this 15. We're now going to repeat this unit here before repeating it again there. So whenever we put a 15 between 11s earlier, we're going to repeat adding this unit of fire polished 11s and 15s. So it's 2 15s, 1 11, 5 15s, 1 11, 5 15s, 2 15s. So 2 15s, 1 11, 5 15s, 1 11, 5 15s, 1 11, 2 15s. Go back into the 15 you started from, or you're coming out of. Go through to your size 11, first size 11 added, through the 2 15s into that size 11. Pick up 1 fire polished, go into the next 11 along. Pick up 1 fire polished, go into the next 11 along. And pick up 1 fire polished and go into the 11 you started from. And then go through all your fire polished again. And back into the first one before weaving around your beads to get through to that 15. And then repeat, adding in the little fire polished unit. Okay, so you should now have in place 3 little fire polished units, and now we want to weave around to come out of a middle 15 facing a honeycomb bead. So I'm just going to weave through the first 2 15s here, then the 11, come into a fire polished as well, it doesn't matter, you've just got to get there, into an 11, and through 3 15s on this side. So you can now see that I am facing, my work is facing, or my needle will be facing this honeycomb bead. So I'm now going to pick up 2 11s, and I'm going to go into the unused hole of the honeycomb bead, like so. Turn this over now because it's going to start to curve. I'm going to pop my tail through there actually, even turning it over so it's not sitting the wrong way when it comes to weaving it in later. I'm going to do that now. So if your tail's sitting the wrong way, pop him through to the back so it's sitting on the outside of your work. I'm going to pick up 2 more 11s and go into the middle 15 of this set of 5 here. So we've just added 2 on this side. I'm going to go into the middle 15 there, like so. But now I'm going to pick up 2 11s.
Sorry, I don't know that.
I'm going to pick up 2 11s, 1 honeycomb, 2 11s, like so. I'm going to skip the next 5 beads, so the 2 15s, the 11, the 2 15s.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Alexa, she always makes an appearance in my videos. So 2 15s and 11 2 15s, and I'm going into the middle 15 of the next set of 5 along. And that's going to make these honeycombs sit up there. I'm going to pull all that really tight. So they're now sitting above this part here. I'm going to pick up 2 11s and go into the next honeycomb bead along, unused hole. As you can see, it's really starting to curve now, you're getting a really good shape. I'm going to pick up 2 more 11s and go into the middle 15 of this set of 5 on the next little piece, little fire polish piece, like so. And then I'm going to repeat this step here where I'm picking up 2 11s, 1 honeycomb, 2 11s. When you're picking up honeycombs, it doesn't matter which hole you're picking up. I'm going to jump the next 5 beads, the 2 15s, the 11, the 2 15s, and go in the middle bead along of the 15s, like so. Pull tight. Pick up 2 11s, go into the honeycomb bead, unused hole, 2 11s, and go into the last middle 15 here that we haven't used on that set of 5, like so. And we've just got our last 2 11s, last 2 11s, honeycomb, and 2 11s. So we're just adding them in now, the 2 11s, honeycomb, 2 11s, and then we're going to jump the next 5 beads and go into the 15 we started the round from, like so, and pull tight. So your work should now be looking like this. It should be all sat up. Keep your tension, tension is key. And you've got this little dome shape going on. So now you want to weave through, because we're going to add them single 15s between our 4 11s now that are on either side of the honeycomb. So because we're coming out of this 15, we can't add one here because we're coming out of a 15 already. So weave through our 2 11s, our honeycomb, and our next 2 11s. Pick up 1 15 and weave through the 2 11s, the honeycomb, and the next 2 11s. So there. Pick up 1 15, go through 2 11s, honeycomb, 2 11s, like so. Pick up 1 15.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Go through your 2 11s, your honeycomb, and your 2 11s. Pick up 1 15 and go through your 2 11s, your honeycomb, your 2 11s, and 2 more, 15, honeycomb, 2 11s, honeycomb, 2 11s, and our last one, 15, and go through our 2 11s, our honeycomb, our 2 11s, and our 15, the new 15 you're going into now, like so. So you should have just added 6 new size 15s, single size 15s, all the way around this bit here. Okay, so we now want to add our next little fire polished part, same as before. Well, I say same as before, you're picking up the same amount of beads, but we're going to add them a little bit differently. So because I'm coming out of this side of my 15 and I want to use this 15 also, so I'm coming out here, but I also want to use this one because I want to make this all sit up like that. I'm going to pick up 2 15s, 1 11, 5 15s, 1 11, and 2 15s. I'm going to take my needle. Also, let me show you, before I do that, let me show you what I've got on my needle. I've got 2 15s, 11, 5 15s, 11, 2 15s. But now I'm going to take my needle through this 15 that's sitting before the one. It's on the other side of this honeycomb here. I'm going to take it through there, like so, and pull tight. Okay, and now I want to pick up 2 15s, an 11 and 2 15s, and I'm going to take my needle back through the 15 I've started from. So when I added this part, I want to go back into that 15 now and pull tight. So that's, I have my 5 15s, 5 15s, 5 15s with an 11 between the 5s, the same as we have here and here. I'm going to weave through to the first 11 added, and I'm sure you all know what's coming, but we're going to add our fire polished. So picking up one fire polished, go into the next 11, oh, can't get through, come on, no, Manny doesn't want to do it, there you go. Pick up one fire polished and go through the next 11, and pick up one fire polished and go through the following, or the first 11 you started from, and then into the fire polished. Just got a little knot in my thread, just need to, there we go, done. Okay, so as before, we're just going to join all the fire polish together, missing out the 11s. Like so. And now we're going to weave back through our beads, and we want to be using the next 2 along. So depending on which way you're going, which way you're working, clockwise, anti-clockwise, you want to be coming to the next. You're going to do that, repeat that again, but on these 2 and these 2. You may find you come out of this bead first, so you may have to put the 2 15s, the size 11, the 2 15s on first, and then the other sequence. But let's see which way we go, and then we'll have a quick look. So I'm going to weave back through my beads now to go round. If your beads are looking a little bit loose, just tighten them up by going back through them with your thread. Okay, into one of the 15s I've just used. From the 2 15s, up into the 2 11s, through the honeycomb, and down the 2 11s and into the next 15. So like I said, I'm coming out of this one now, so I'm coming out of that side rather than this side, so I can't come over, I'm going to go under. So I'm going to pick up 2 15s, 1 11, 2 15s, and then go through that second 15 along, the single 15 along, like so. And then I'm going to add the 2 15s, the 11, the 5 15s, 11, 2 15s, and go back into that one we've just started from. From here you'll add your fire polished and then weave around and repeat on that next 2. Okay, so I've just added on my last little fire polish motify bit thing. That's the technical term, motify bit thing. And now I'm coming out of the middle 15 that is essentially unused by any other part of this fire polished part. And as you can see now, you've got like this little cup shape happening. So we're about to zip up our beaded bead, so we're gonna finish it all off now. This is the end goal is in sight. So I'm coming out of this middle 15 here of this top set of 5. I'm going to pop in my little bead for inside. Now, the one thing you need to remember about the beads that go inside is that if you've used Toho beads, you may find that your piece is a little bit bigger, because Toho beads are a little bit bigger than Miyuki beads. and if you've used Miyuki as I have, you may find that you need maybe just a 12mm bead, whereas if you've used Toho you may need a 14. Well, I've ordered some cotton pearls to come so I can make some more of these, and I've ordered them in both sizes so I can test that. Once they arrive I will test it and pop some information down in the description box, but until then I'm using this little 12mm bead. So coming out to that middle 15 of that set of 5 there on top of this fire polished, so you can see that there, I'm going to pick up 2 11s and I'm just going to go straight into the unused hole of the next fire polished along, and then I'm going to pick up 2 11s and go into the middle 15 on this next little fire polished motif bit, and then I'm just going to repeat that all the way around, adding in 11s on either sides of my honeycomb beads, going into middle 15s of the sets of 5s. Keep yourself a nice tight tension, and there we go. That's our round of 11s going into the middle 15s. So we need to add our single 15s now, as we have all over the rest of the piece. So I'm going to go through my 2 11s, through my honeycomb, and into my next 2 11s after a honeycomb, and then I'm going to pick up 1 15 and go through the next 2 11s, through the honeycomb, and through the next 2 11s. So as you can see, that 15 is in place, sitting over the 15 that we used to join our 11s and our honeycombs. And now I'm just going to repeat that again, 15 through the 11s, the honeycomb, the 11s, and a 15 through the 11s, the honeycomb, and the 11s. And then I'm going to step up into my new 15, like so. So you can see that bead inside is nice and captured.
In these, the air quality is good, with an air quality index of 4 on the Atmos scale.
So I'm coming out of this 15 here, and now I want to add my last little fire polished motif in, fire polished bit thingy thing, whatever we called it before. So it's a little bit different again, because now we're joining it to the top of these beads that already have these single 15s in place. So I'm going to pick up 2 15s, 1 11, 2 15s, and I'm going to go into the next middle 15 along, like so. And then I'm going to pick up 2 15s, 1 11, 2 15s, and I'm going to come into the next single 15 from before, like so. And one more, 2 15s, 11,
I don't know that.
2 15s, and go into the single 15 that we started from. And now I'm going to go forward through my first 2 15s and my size 11, and I'm sure you all know what's coming next. We're going to put on the fire polished. So picking up a fire polished, go into the next 11 along, pick up a fire polished and go into the next 11 along, pick up a fire polished and go back into the 11 that we've just started from, and then go through all the fire polished again. And that is the end of our beaded bead. Now I'm going to go back through some of these beads just to reinforce and to tighten them up. Just have a quick look at it, make sure it's all looking fabulous. It's all looking great. Okay, so once you've finished your beaded bead, you now can then think about what you're going to do with it. Obviously I've added it to this cute little earring, I may have a little play around with the beads because I'm not sure that I want to go with that one, or whether I want to change it up for something a little bit different. You could put them on a necklace. You could put them in a vase and just play with them. They are very tactile. They would look really cute in like a little dish on a coffee table in all different colours. There's lots you can do with these little beaded beads. So that's that finished. I'm going to weave off my threads in a minute and decide on what I'm going to do with the next one. If you've enjoyed my video today, I would be very grateful if you'd subscribe to my channel. I have lots of content coming in the future, as well as quite a lot of content already on the channel, so check that out. And that's everything for today. Thank you for joining me. Have a lovely day. Take care. Bye.